So I'm back playing another one of your suggestions from the comments, and oh boy, this one's given me some stick. I'm of course talking about Bulgaria. Now, Bulgaria has a bit of a interesting focus tree going down the monarchist path, which essentially allows you to form the ultimate Balkan Empire. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be playing as monarchist Bulgaria, and we're going to be forming the mightiest Balkan Empire going. Let's go. So here we are in Bulgaria. Now, Bulgaria is actually a nation that I've never properly played through. However, I've always had to go through or just basically say, no, you can't rearm as the British. But not today. No, we're going to be exploring the vastness of this focus tree and going down the monarchist path, which allows us to do some pretty fun stuff. We've got a long way to go before we get there, though, including a bit of political juggling, as well as a quite drastic rearmament program, which we're going to need to do. And we're going to need to basically ask the British very politely to allow us to do it. We start off with the IMRO. These people are not good. We'll be looking to get rid of them. We've got the second national catastrophe. Sounds riveting. And then we've got army restrictions, which is obviously the infamous one. And yeah, we're going to need to sort that out rather sharpish. So going down the focus tree, the monarchist path, we're going to be doing power to the Tsar. And then we've got a few things to pick out. So we're going to be going down power to the Tsar. Then we're going to want to rearm. So we'll do acquire modern tools, negotiate Bulgarian rearmament. Lovely. Acquire modern tools is in, as well as electronical mechanical engineering. We'll just go straight onto mechanical computing. And then next focus wise, we'll do negotiate Bulgarian rearmament. Meanwhile, we're just going to keep on powering through with the agrarian union decisions. We want to get this ticked off as quickly as possible. Lovely. Negotiate rearmament is in. We'll go ahead and demonstrate our policies of peace. That's going to start the chain of events that we'll need to complete to start rearmament and convince the British. For our next focus, we have got to deal with a few of these factions, as I mentioned. So next, we're going to want to condemn Macedonian organizations. That's going to give us some benefit with the British, which will be useful, as well as help us defeat the IMRO. We're going to go down concentrated industry. We're not really going to be able to produce a variety of things, but once the industry does get going, it's pretty good. Lovely. Condemn the IMRO. We'll move down the Tsar's regime next, and then we're going to start rushing down some of these decisions. We're going to need to go all the way down to cooperation with Italy, which is going to involve a few steps and a few improved relations. There we are. We can do anti-IMRO propaganda. That will help. And also, we do need an intelligence agency, and actually it's probably easier to do it at the minute whilst our industry is not very active. There we go. We can appoint agrarian union members. That's going to give us the option to get Nikola Petkov, who we'll definitely need to put in as one of our political advisors. Here we are, worker strikes. This is annoying side effects of the broad socialists. We're going to crush them for now just because it gives us, well, a really bad factory output from worker strikes and everything else. It's just not good. And looks like the intelligence agency is in. The only other thing we're going to want from the intelligence agency is diplomatic training. That's going to help us with diplomatic pressure, which we're going to need a lot later on. Lovely. We only need to do one short one now to get the agrarians on side. Nice. The Tsar's regime is in, which means we can negotiate our rearmament. So we shall improve relations with the British. That will help. And we can also move on to promote Bulgarian nationalism. Oh, this is really good, actually. We can get a couple of specialists here that will help with diplomatic pressure. So we'll pick one of those up. Lovely. The United Kingdom lifts our army restrictions. There's no time to lose. Just as we can start to integrate the agrarian union. So everything's coming along pretty nicely now. Right, now that we can actually edit the army, we can start to use it against the IMROs. So what we're going to need is we're going to need these 2 cavalry units. Then we'll want 4 of these infantry, and we're going to delete the remainder of the 6. We're then going to turn all of these over to cavalry units, and we're going to put 2 on this border and 4 on this one. The reason why we've deleted that is because, well, we need the equipment to be able to persecute the IMRO, which we can now do. And afterwards, we'll need units, at least 6 divisions bordering a few of these provinces. So we need Macedonia, Central Macedonia, and Thrace. Luckily, this tile borders both Thrace and Macedonia, so we can use the same units for both. Nice. Nice. We haven't quite yet got onto the next level of industry, but we can do artillery because we don't know that, and we desperately will need artillery. Lovely. Promote Bulgarian nationalism is in, which means we can now persecute the IMRO. I think what I'm going to do next is, because we're shortly going to integrate the Agrarian Union, we will want to start working on the Zveno. So I'm going to start cooperating with them. That's going to give us the decisions to start to integrate them, which we need. They can start a small rebellion. And when I say small, it's quite large, so we want to prioritize that. Lovely. Agrarian National Union integrated, which gives us a lot of political power, and now we can get the leader of the Agrarian Union. We need him because he's going to give us political power and democracy support. Why do we need democracy support? Well, we need it so that we can pick this focus, illusions of a non-partisan system. To do this, we need 20% support for the DP, i.e. the Democratic Party. So as soon as we get that, we can get rid of him. But, I mean, the political power buff does help. Nice. Cooperate with the Zveno is in. We'll start doing these speeches, and then we're also going to repress the broad socialists on the backflip of that. Right, we'll do Bulgarian irredentism next. And whilst we're doing this, we're going to improve relations with Germany. Nice. We'll quickly repress the broad socialists. Nice. That's give them a little bit of a bashing and giving us some political power, which we'll use to empower the Zveno. Now we can destroy the MRO, finally, with the divisions in place, and we'll just continue to discredit some of these broad socialists. Bulgarian irredentism is in, and we can now approach Germany, which means we're done improving relations with them, but next we're going to want to move straight onto Italy, so we'll start improving relations with them ahead of the next focus. Nice, and we've also dealt with the IMRO, which means we can change all of these units back over to infantry. Lovely. This is improved machine tools is next, and then we can probably start thinking a little bit about the Air Force. Lovely. Approach Germany is in. Let's go on to cooperate with Italy. Having unlocked that with Germany, it does allow us to give us a few decisions to buy equipment off of them, which is useful. We'll need this to sort of start building up the army. The main one is infantry equipment and then artillery. You can do aircraft as well, but I'm not going to focus on that because we'll save the political power. We'll need it. There we are. We're already on to appoint Zveno members. That's good. And cooperation with Italy's in. That's going to allow us to purchase more equipment, which is good. And also, once this is done, it means that we don't have to wait as long on the cooldowns. Right, we're on 17 currently for the Democratic Party. If we pick up Crush the Communists, that should help us out a little bit. And then I think what we'll also do is do some anti-fascist raids, as fascism support's going to be quite hard to keep on top of, as Italy are going to have a few things to say about that. March on Varna. Now, this sort of helps us integrate the National Social Movement. However, it does give us quite a lot of fascism support, and that could potentially take away from our democracy support at the minute, which isn't too great. So I'm going to go, we must silence them. However, we will look at integrating them a little bit later when we get that focus. There we are. Integrate the Zveno next, just as we complete construction. So I'm going to, I think, I'm going to try and just build a few civs if I can. Meanwhile, let's take one of these factories off of guns. We'll put one onto artillery, and we'll trade for the tungsten. And then I'm going to try and recruit as many infantry as we can. We can queue up 11, so we'll go for that if we can. And can we buy any guns? Because that will probably help as well. We can buy some from the Chinese. We'll try and do that. Nice, look at that. Okay, so we've got 20% support for the DP. We can move on to illusions of a non-partisan system. Once that's done, we're going to move on and pick up the decisions to help try and integrate some of the other faction, to help integrate the National Socialists. Let's go up to limited conscription once we've got the political power, and then we'll also start buying some more infantry equipment and some more artillery. Lovely. Let's get bombs, and we'll also get our engines. The Zveno have been integrated. Perfect. Now we're going to work against the broad socialist leaders. I'm going to pick up restrained paramilitary organizations next. That's going to give us a weekly manpower buff, which we desperately need because we don't get a lot of manpower as Bulgaria. Lovely. For our last political advisor, I'm going to pick up our ambitious negotiator. He's going to give us a London line support, but more importantly, he's going to give us more political power. And we destroyed the broad socialists, meaning that we've got more political power. Lastly, I'm going to do a royal visit to Plovdiv. This is one of the good decisions that Tsar Boris has, which allows us to get unaligned support. So we'll try and stack as much of it as we financially can. The restrained paramilitary organizations is in. Now we can start moving on down some of these focuses and getting to plotting against Boris. Let's get our basic airframes in now as well. Lovely, light MGs are in, which means I think that's most of the Air Force done for the time being. Let's move on to some of the infantry equipment, which we'll definitely need to improve. And we're sitting on a good bit of political power now, so we'll keep doing the actions for the National Socialist movement. Make sure to keep buying guns. However, what I will also do is I'm going to pick up our Chief of the Air Force, just because we are going to start needing we're going to start needing air experience. Plot against Boris is done, which means we now get the decisions to, well, actually plot against him. And we're going to persuade one of the Zveno members to do our dirty work for us. Which means we're also coming to the end of the decisions that we can use for old Boris. So we'll try and get another royal visit out of him whilst he's still cracking around. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to pick up our aircraft repair facilities. That's going to help with giving us a civ, a military factory, as well as some fighter production, which will start us off nicely. And now we can draw up our plans for regicide. Things are starting to come together now. Aircraft repair facilities is in. Yeah, we've still got some days until regicide's done. After that, we won't have as much time once Boris kicks the bucket. So I think what we'll go on to next is, yeah, we'll do reorganize the military industry, and we get another military factory. I'm going to put that on trucks. Oh, and we do have 50 air experience, speaking of the devil, so we'll get industry liaisons. That will help us in the meantime. I think I'm going to jump the gun here and just get into war tanks out the way with. And then I'll also pick up radios, because I always forget that. Ah, and the National Social Movement integrated. That's really good. We're probably going to want to sit on some of this political power. We're going to need it after the regicide, as well as well, after the death of old Boris. Right, and we're waiting on execute plan now. 7 days. We might be able to squeeze one more royal visit out of Boris before he kicks the bucket. But 13 days isn't a long time. I'm not actually going to pick another focus because I want to move straight on to the next ones. Lovely! When is the next visit scheduled? I wonder. The death of Tsar Boris! Oh, I guess that next visit's never going to come. Disturbing indeed. I'm sure... yeah, the government had nothing to do with that. Anyway, moving swiftly onwards, we can now look to our new leader, i.e. this chap, the return of Tsar Ferdinand I. Excellent, the return of Tsar Ferdinand is back, and here he is, a very regal looking chap. Dreams of a new Byzantium. Well, that's exactly what the type of attitude we need, but we can now very quickly move on to the fate of the Balkans. That's what we're going to start doing next. And speaking of having the right attitude, if you're not currently subscribed to my channel and you've watched this far in the video, then please do consider subscribing. In one of my last videos where we played as Sweden, 94% of people that watched the video weren't subscribed. And I'm trying to hit my goal of 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So if you haven't already, then please do like the video and subscribe to the channel for more Hearts of Iron 4 content. And if you are already subscribed, then thank you already so much. If you want to support the video, then you can drop it a like. Just keep stacking the political power for now. We could do with a Chief of the Army soon to get army experience, but to be honest, it's probably really useful that we get this in now. Having said that, that's when we could do with this 100 political power. Italy is influencing our politics. They're going to start rapidly influencing fascism essentially throughout the country. And if we don't ban fascism now, well, we're never going to be able to, essentially. So we need to do it now. We will still be gaining fascism support, but at least, well, we'll be able to deal with it. The fate of the Balkans. Now we'll be able to click these decisions to start influencing the governments around us. And this is why we need to save up political power, because not only have we got this 15 to do for all here, so we'll just click this, 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 and this. We then need to save up 35 to get everybody into our faction, plus an extra 50 to get everybody as our puppet. Now, it's important to get everybody into the faction first and to get some puppeted quicker than others, i.e. Albania and Romania, before they join the Axis. So yeah, there's quite a bit to do here. So we're going to need more political power, and we can get more political power from these two focuses here. We don't really want to pick this one. We're not going to pick this one, even though it gives us 120 political power, but we will pick this one. The reason why we won't is because it will stop us from being able to institute press censorship. Right, so we are about 20 days out now from these decisions, just as Restore the Constitution comes back in. So We're going to improve relations now with Greece as well as Albania, as these are going to be our first two targets that we're going to move against. I'm going to leave the focuses alone for now, just because we're going to need all the political power we can get. We're a little bit short. And the next thing we're going to actually do is, because we also need to justify a war goal for Hungary. It's going to take 125 days, so we need to get that going now, really. There we go. Those decisions are done. We can now really start to issue ultimatums. We'll go against Albania, so ultimatum to them. Nice. And then we shall subjugate them. Lovely. They caved very easily. There we are. Let's go ahead and subjugate the Greeks now. They're in our faction, so now we just need to actually move to the decision to subjugate them. Okay, 51. Can we subjugate them? Yes, they fold. That is the first piece we need to finish off the puzzle. Now we can request their troops, put them into our other army, and basically start using them to bully the other nations. We need to start improving relations with them next, and we will also move our spy to start pressuring them. So Italy has joined the German Reich by the looks of things. We couldn't quite get them into our faction, so that might cause us a few problems. I'm going to also now start improving relations with Turkey. We'll go on to them before we do Romania. We can get the non-aggression pact with Yugoslavia, so hopefully we can send them an ultimatum now. Excellent, they're our puppet, and then hopefully we can hopefully we can subjugate them as well. They know their place. Excellent, that's really, really good news, because the Yugoslavians give us a load of military. Excellent stuff. The army is starting to grow now. Let's quickly move our spy to put diplomatic pressure now on Turkey. Hopefully they should accept our ultimatum. They do. And then we just need to wait for a little bit more political power now to subjugate them. Subjugate Turkey. Yes, that is good as well, because that is a whole bunch of units for us now. Right, now on to the last one, Romania. Our war goal should last for a little bit. It expires in October. So there we are. Non-aggression pact with Romania accepted. That should be our ultimatum with them. Lovely. Yes, the Romanians know their place. Right. Now it's very quickly onto a war with Hungary. Everyone into position, men. The big war for Hungary begins now. And then we just need to rush in very quickly, grab all the victory points, and get home in time. There we go. Hungary capitulates, and we'll just take everything here. That is a quick win for us. Lovely stuff. Since Italy isn't in the faction, I may actually release this territory as a puppet, just so that obviously if we do end up fighting the Axis first, which is probably quite likely, we won't have to have a direct border with them. So yeah, we'll create a little puppet here. And then we've got this weird Czechoslovakian territory as well. So there we go. A weird little border here, but that's fine. Let's put these infantry over here. And then it would probably be good to get some port guards as well. And the next thing that we want to do, especially with the main sort of areas, is just influence the governments. That's going to help lower their autonomy, which is going to be pretty crucial for integrating them. Lovely. We're going to unlock Grand Battle Plan now as well and get some doctrines going. And national propaganda is in. We do need 50 political power to get the next one, unfortunately, for this. So we'll see if we can work towards that research slot we were trying to get. Yeah, rebuild the army. Give us a nice little manpower buff as well. And hopefully the... Okay, here we go. Yeah, Italy's declared war on us. But yeah, they've just declared war on us and Albania because they're our puppet. So as long as we can sort of reinforce maybe these ports, we should be all right. There we are. They have called Germany in, but they haven't declared war on any of our other provinces, which is good. And the Soviets and a few others want to send us some troops, which is good. There we are. A few Italian divisions crushed there. That's good. All right, keep building some infrastructure, and then realistically, it's military factory time, I think. And it looks like we can lower the autonomy, actually, of Yugoslavia, which we definitely will want to do, but we'll wait a little bit. Albania want to send us some convoys. That's nice, isn't it? Nice. Rebuild the army is in, and we've got 50 political power. So let's go ahead and bring back Macedonia. That would be a good state for us in terms of resources. And we should hopefully now be able to go on to these focuses, the Bulgarian integration of the Balkans. And this is really where the fun starts. trying to invade again by the looks of things. But yeah, we're holding strong and just killing a few of the Italian units, which is good. And we can also put our planes, I think, for defense and hopefully shoot down some of the Italian air force as well. Bulgarian-Hungary demands occupation of West Banat. Or West Banat. Now, they are our puppets, so they shouldn't really declare war on us. Yeah. Right, and we'll get the trade with Sweden. That's good. Fall of Paris. France looks like it's going to go. Let's lower the authority of Yugoslavia as well. That will help with giving us some more factories and resources. We do actually need trains. We seem to be struggling a bit for that. Nice, and we get some improved artillery. Just gonna make some slight modifications to our current planes, just by putting self-sealing fuel tanks on them, just because it's gonna be a while till we get the proper upgrade in, but these little buffs should help in the meantime. There we go, another invasion. We do actually have some more air force, so we'll assign that. They're definitely getting a bit bolder with some of these. Alright though, another 3 divisions destroyed. And then hopefully as soon as Germany starts attacking the Soviets, they really start sort of panicking a little bit. Speaking of which, there comes the justification against us. Still managing to shoot down quite a lot of planes, despite the fact, yeah, air attack is... Our planes aren't looking as strong. I think we'll get up to 5 artillery and 5 trucks, and then we'll also start putting another 5 into planes. But Bulgarian integration of the Balkans is done, which means we can actually start to core some of these provinces, which is pretty ideal. However, to do that, we're going to need compliance, and this focus is really going to help us out now because it gives daily compliance to all non-occupied territory. So not only will it allow us to core the areas that we need, but it's also going to help with any occupied territory in general. We're now up to 166 political power. Probably good to go up to war economy, I'm thinking. We do need to go up another conscription level as well, but I'm going to go up to war economy first. After that, we'll definitely be going up to, limited conscription. Yeah, our average, air attack is higher, but agility and speed is lower. I mean, we don't have really the, we don't have any MIOs for them, but our defense is higher, which is pretty good. We just need the MIOs really to buff that out. Yeah, we probably need to invest in infrastructure in Greece, as they do have some good resources, namely steel that we do need. Yeah, there we go. The Soviet Union's gone and taken some territory off of Romania now, so that's a little bit less for us, but that's fine. We're still running a pretty good empire. The British don't look like they're doing too well. I wonder if we can ask for military access and maybe help them push some of these units out. Let's restore the Bulgarian Patriate done, which is going to massively help with... we get more stability and power gain, which is good. Right, let's try and work on this research, I think. We'll get this one to get some more mills and help with infantry production, infantry equipment production, and then we'll be able to get this one, which gives us another research slot. Okay, so Italy's now declared war for Greece as well, which means looks like they're going to probably try and conquer some of these islands. Again, if none of the puppets are called in or join, that should be fine. Oh yeah, we don't have any convoys, do we? So we actually can't get over to the British anyway if we wanted to try and help them. Oh my word. At least we can try and put some better fighters and planes into production. There we are, our second level of fighter, and then we'll also just put... There we are, and that's our improved CAS into production as well. Start producing those as much as we can. Again, we're probably just going to run out a lot of resource. Luckily, we don't need convoys for trading. And we can actually go up at a conscription level now, which is pretty good, so we will. In fact, actually, one thing that we might be able to do is diplomatically... we may be able to pressure Iraq very quickly for military access, which means we could probably just quickly sneak into the British. We got some dockyards now, which we can finally start using to produce convoys. We do need to really start producing tanks as well. I've realised how far behind we are on that. Well, meanwhile, we'll just keep trying to win the air war. Hopefully soon we can actually start to help the British out a little bit. Nice, next focus is done. We can finally get some research slots. And we've actually got an MIO now for our guns. Hooray. We can get military access, though, through the Lebanese Republic. We can also get military access through Palestine. Now we can get through. There we are. Some of our men are now pushing up as well. Doing a very good job at just shooting down the Italian Air Force. Gonna look at our subjects. We can nearly demote Greece, so I think that's what we'll work on shortly. Right, we can actually make a tank now, which is good. Yeah, something like that. 50 armor. It's not the best tank, but it will get us going at least. There is absolutely no supply here, which is not ideal. Need to try and get to Tripoli, really. Oh, come on. There we go. A little bit further. Oh, and looks like we can lower the autonomy of Greece. There we go, that's good. Okay, the UK have a really good relation with us now. Oh, we can get Vickers and Vauxhall as an automotive. So yeah, we really want both of those. Oh, we got some really good experienced Air Force actually now. Oh wow, okay, a lot going on here. What's important is that our puppets still aren't at war, although having looked at it, looking at things, Germany now has a war goal against Yugoslavia, which is not good, which means that they could actually shortly start to invade. They have started their war against the Soviets, though. We'll see if we can get a non-aggression pact with them. I mean, yeah, it looks like the Soviets are absolutely crushing them in terms of their air superiority. See if we can quickly... Oh, if we can get to Tripoli, then, I mean, we've pretty much outdone them there. We'll put our units back in supply. They don't have anyone on the port, so that's good. Nice. Okay, we should be a little bit back into supply now. There we are. That is the Italians all dealt with in North Africa. Maybe be able to start thinking about doing something with this template. Well, it's starting to look a bit better. Oh, excellent. And we've actually got our DAR now to help produce our equipment. Yeah, that's massively going to help with agility and then also just speed. Doesn't look like the Germans really are able to push at all that far in. And Japan's gone and declared war on the Philippines now, which means, I mean, hopefully the US should be called in soon. They are getting a little bit larger, the Democratic Party. So let's... Oh, we can invite Vauxhall, that's good, we'll do that. But we'll also do some anti-democratic raids because they get a bit too large for us, my liking now. Japan's declared war on British Malay. The United States joins the Allies. Lovely. We could probably help out the Soviets by just continuing to maybe help with our air force, because we do have quite a good one. So yeah, looking like we're doing a pretty good job here actually. We might be able to... Our average air defense is a bit lower, but we might be able to do some damage here to the Luftwaffe. But any, I suppose, little bit will help. Right, it looks like we can actually integrate, or we can annex Greece. We could do Yugoslavia, but that's going to open up a front. So we'll just do Greece for now, and that's given us a lot more territory. Now, hopefully, as soon as we start to build compliance in these areas, yeah, we can core these states. Not quite all of it by the looks of it, but definitely a lot. And we've also got all these divisions now. I'm going to see if we can change them over to... Yeah, we can. I'm going to change them all over to our actual infantry template. The British aren't really doing much yet. Oh, we've got... I forgot. We'll actually have the Greek Navy now, won't we? Which is good. We may be able to actually pull off a naval invasion. And we got some convoys, which is nice. We are going to need to probably exercise some of it, though, because it's not looking the hottest. Oh, dear. Germany is not looking too hot now. Well, we'll keep biding our time. We are nearly ready, I think, for the point to strike. I suppose one thing could be quite good to do in the meantime is probably just improve our supply. Germany is certainly mounting casualties, which is good. That's what we want to see. Yeah, Germany should... It'd be good to try and get the Italian puppet, but not sure if we're ready quite yet. Oh my god, we're really bad for fuel. Might just try and nick some from Romania since there are puppets. Oh, the United Kingdom has declared war on Vichy, France. I'm getting a bit sick and tired of not fighting, so I think now it's going to be now or never, really. Right, we can actually go ahead and maybe pick up our Third Bulgarian Empire. And then once we get to our empire status, I think we'll start coming in. Unless the British really start making good moves. Okay, the British are landing in Italy by the looks of things as we proclaim our Third Bulgarian Empire. And look, we got a lovely new flag and colour now. So the time has come, I think, to stop being so idle. Right, the armour needs to push straight for this port. Yeah, armour is doing its job fantastically. Yeah, and some of the other nations aren't at war yet, so that's good. Hopefully crush this port. Nice, a little encirclement there. Come on, can we get into the port here? We can. And I just want to keep charging through, really. Trying to capture as much territory as we can. I mean, if we can push over this area quite quickly, that would be good. We need to make sure that we're holding the line as well. I'm going to assign the rest of these units back to this front line. Actually, this is the Soviets, isn't it? It's not even the British that are naval invading Italy. Fair enough. The Soviets are... they haven't been as badly battered as they usually get, so they're quite a menace. See if we can just drive straight into Milan. Encircle where we can. Our puppet front line is holding well, which is good. That's always nice to see. And I mean, our air force is almost uncontested. Chile's going for war with Japan. That's always good to see. Chile's joined the Comintern. Okay, excellent. Mussolini is deposed. That's good. Hopefully we're going to start to get the puppet. We probably need to rush for Rome if that's the case. So we've got a few motorized and an armor division over there. Need to get there before the US does. Come on, Rome is there. And that's Rome gone. And... oh, the British got the puppet. Okay. Well, we've got quite a lot of the Italian territory, so... are we at war with Vichy France? Looks like we might be. Well, we can start to pour into France, which would be good. Need to try and quickly branch out as quickly as possible now. Nice, we got Marseille surrounded. Meanwhile, the motorized can just keep driving through. Wow, yeah, Soviets are really pushing in, and the naval invasion is happening now, so we're starting to look pretty good. There is a lot of divisions trapped down here. I mean, if we can try and squeeze our way in through the mountains, then yeah, we can close that off, which would be ideal. There we go. That is an encirclement. Meanwhile, we are taking back France. See if we can drive into Paris. There we go, the liberation. Now, we need military access so that we can get through some of these pockets that are opening up. Slowly but surely cleaning up this pocket. A good number of divisions trapped in there. Yes, go men, sweep. Sweep through the French countryside and into Belgium. Yeah, it's going pretty well now. I mean, this side is also looking very sort of sparing. If we call all of these guys in, yeah, we can sweep through, I think, with these chaps as well now. Here comes everyone. There are 32 divisions stuck there. That is insane. And as a lot of these European countries come back, we're just stuck a little bit with... we just keep getting stuck in a lot of their territory. Although our push, by the looks of things, with the auxiliaries has done a tremendous job. Oh my god, look at this encirclement. 30 divisions. Oh, look at that. Huge crush there. There are so many divisions trapped in, like, Krakow. The Soviets can deal with them. Yes, Munich's taken, and that is the fall of the German Reich. Okay, well, that is the peace deal done, and, well, we didn't get as much territory as we really want. The British looks like they got most of Italy. We did manage to get most of the areas around sort of our territory, like getting back Slovakia, and we got some northern parts of Germany, as well as little bits of Italy, and then we got a small, very small Italian puppet, which is, I suppose, all right. The Kingdom of Greece now exists in its entirety, but just by itself on this little island, which is quite funny. And yeah, I suppose that is the end, really. It's been a bit of a wild ride. I suppose we could go ahead and fight the Japanese, probably take out them. We did manage to get a large bit of the Navy. So yeah, look, we got quite a lot of the Italian Navy. That's good. And we got, yeah, a really good chunk, actually, of the German Navy. So, actually a pretty proficient Navy. That would probably get us to Japan if we needed to, if we were going to go do that. And then, I suppose, the rest would be just trying to, I suppose, integrate some of this territory. Like, it seems to... you do get cores on it. It just takes quite a while, to be honest. You could end up with a really powerful empire afterwards, but yeah, it's just going to take ages to integrate it. Not to mention the political power needed to just annex our puppets that we'll require. But I suppose once you've done that, you probably would get quite a powerful country. It'd be I don't know if you can do it with Turkey. I'll tell you what, because their compliance is pretty low, isn't it, Turkey? I'm going to see if we can integrate them at least. I'll just keep building on them for the time being. Well, I went AFK for a bit, and we built some compliance and amassed some political power, which is good. So let's go ahead and click some of these. And I suppose we get a few decisions, really, to help integrate or core some of the territory, but not an awful amount. And this one's about to complete in 1 day. Okay, so it does start to unlock, more areas, like we can then go into Istanbul. So, yeah, maybe you just have to keep working across the nation, which again I feel like is, quite excessive considering it's like 1944 and this is sort of how we've managed to get such an empire. And then the Soviet Union, I suppose, is just massive. Yeah, look at the amount of divisions they've got. We could try and fight them, but it'd be a... That's probably who I would try and go for next if I had to, if we were going to play a little bit further. But I feel like the amount of time it's going to take us to core territory, they're just going to get even stronger, and even then we don't really have the facilities probably to win the war as effective, like easily as some other nations, essentially. It was quite fun. I enjoyed the dynamic of creating a massive faction, but I wish we could integrate them a lot easier, is my opinion, I think, on this path for Bulgaria. How do you like to play Bulgaria? I've heard the communist path can also be quite powerful. Are there any other better strategies that you think that we could have done? Let me know in the comments. And of course, if you think that we should be playing any other nation in the Balkans or anywhere else, then let me know as well what you'd like to see next. But this has been fun. Definitely would like to maybe revisit Bulgaria again some point in the future. But otherwise, I will catch you all in the next one. See ya!